For millennia, Mars was a distant red mystery in our sky. We sent probes, learned of its thin air and frozen water, but always dreamed of more. In 2042, that dream became real. The Ares Prime mission landed humans on Mars. The world watched as a team of pioneers built the first settlement in Vastitas Borealis. It was a moment of hope, a testament to human courage and curiosity. But Mars is not a gentle place. Lethal radiation, crushing cold, and endless dust storms define its landscape. The colonists trained for every danger, but some things defy preparation. Something ancient and silent waited for them on Mars. Today we look back not with triumph, but with uneasy silence. The colony is gone, the people vanished, only empty habitats remain, slowly buried by red sands. What happened? The official reports are inconclusive. The truth we suspect is far stranger. We sift through digital ghosts and faint echoes. Are we truly alone in the universe? The story of Ares Prime is not just about exploration, it's about the unknown, and the price we pay to touch it. The red planet keeps its secrets well, but the echoes of that first colony still haunt us. What did they find in that vast, lonely wilderness? And what, if anything, found them? Ares Prime was humanity's fragile outpost, a cluster of domes in a Martian crater. Inside, hydroponic farms glowed, and the 12 colonists lived as a family, bound by purpose and isolation. Each day was a careful routine: research, exploration, survival. They drilled for ice, analyzed soil, and mapped the alien terrain. Evenings brought them together in the central dome, sharing meals and discoveries. Outside, the landscape was both beautiful and terrifying. Dust devils danced, and the sun was a distant disk. They were the first to witness a Martian sunset, the first to see Earth as a tiny blue dot. Outfitted in EVA suits, they ventured onto the surface, collecting samples and setting up sensors. Every step was a risk. A single mistake could be fatal. Yet, they pressed on, pioneers at the edge of human existence. The colony was a marvel, but also a bubble of life in a vast, indifferent desert. Their mission was exploration, but survival was a daily challenge. They pushed the boundaries of what it meant to be human. Every moment was history in the making. But Mars was watching, and soon, the planet would answer. Trouble began as a whisper, strange static on the comms, a rhythmic pulse that defied explanation. Dr. Eris Thorne, the communications officer, searched for answers but found only patterns, not solutions. Equipment failures followed, sensors offline, pumps seizing, systems failing one by one. Chief Engineer Lena Petrova fixed problems as fast as they appeared, but the colony felt sick, as if decaying from within. Then came the fog, a thick reddish mist at dawn, clinging to the domes, unsettling everyone. Dr. Kenji Tanaka analyzed it, just water ice and dust, but the unease lingered. The static grew clearer. Thorne filtered the signal, revealing a complex, repeating pattern. Almost a language, almost a heartbeat. He shared his findings with Commander Eva Rostova. They kept it quiet, needing more data. Fear took root. The signal wasn't from space, it was coming from Mars itself. The colonists felt watched, as if the planet was aware of them. The line between technical glitch and something else blurred. The unknown pressed closer, every day. The colony's sense of safety began to unravel. The static was a warning, but they didn't know how to listen. The planet was speaking, and soon it would be heard. The first signs of dread had arrived. Mars was no longer silent. It was whispering back. Anxiety spread through Ares Prime like a virus. The crew grew distant, conversations faded, and silence filled the common areas. Nightmares haunted their sleep, visions of red fog and shadowy figures. Dr. Elias Vance, the psychologist, called it solitude affective disorder, but fear was real and growing. Small things vanished, tools, datapads, dismissed as carelessness at first. Then, Dr. Tanaka's rover lost contact for minutes. He returned disoriented, with no memory of what happened. The true terror struck when Lena Petrova disappeared. She left for a routine EVA, but her suit's beacon went offline. A search party followed her footprints into the open plains. The track simply ended. No struggle, no equipment, just an abrupt stop in the dust. The colony was unraveling. The unknown was no longer outside, it was inside, eroding trust and sanity. The red planet's silence became suffocating. The colonists realized they were not alone. Something was moving among them, unseen. The boundaries of reality and nightmare blurred. The colony's unity fractured. Mars was claiming its own. The disappearances were only the beginning. The dread was now a living presence. The colony's fate was sealed. and the planet watched in silence. Mars is a world of lethal extremes: thin air, toxic dust, and storms that blot out the sun. The colonists fought daily battles against radiation, perchlorates, and the ever-present clinging dust. Every moment outside was a calculated risk, every breath inside depended on fragile systems. But the greatest threat was invisible. The dust, laced with toxins, could breach any filter. The storms brought darkness and isolation, pressing on fragile minds. The colony's lights flickered as the world outside howled. In the darkness, fear grew. The search for Martian life had always been about microbes, ancient rivers, and organic molecules. But what if life was something else? Dormant, alien, waiting in the dust. The colonists' bodies and minds were unprepared for an ecosystem so foreign. A simple microbe could be as deadly as any monster. Or perhaps the threat was not life as we know it, but something stranger. The red veil descended, and with it the line between science and nightmare blurred. Mars was not just hostile, it was unknowable. The colonists faced not just survival, but the possibility of something awakening. And it was already too late. As Ares Prime unraveled, communications with Earth became desperate and fragmented. Commander Rostova's reports turned to clipped, haunted messages. Video feeds flickered with static and fear. Alarms blared and fell silent. Warnings appeared and vanished. Systems failed in ways no one could explain. Dr. Vance logged auditory hallucinations, but the habitat's own records confirmed the alarms were real. Dr. Thorne's final audio log captured his terror. "It's not a signal, it's a voice. It's inside my head." A soft melodic humming followed, something not human. The log ended abruptly. It was his last. The final days were chaos, corrupted files, empty corridors, withered plants, and the hum of failing machines. The colony died not with a bang but a slow, terrifying whisper. The people faded away, leaving only echoes in the systems they built. The silence was absolute. The machines kept running, but the humans were gone. The void had claimed them. The last traces were digital ghosts. The story of Ares Prime ended in static and shadow. The planet kept its secrets, and Earth could only listen to the echoes. The void answered with silence. The final message from Ares Prime was not a plea for help. It was a single, grainy video from Commander Rostova's personal log. She stood in the airlock wearing only her blue jumpsuit. No suit, no protection. Calmly, she reached for the controls, her face serene, eyes wide with wonder. She spoke one word: beautiful. Then, she opened the outer door. A rush of air, a flash of white, the signal cut out. That was the last we heard from Ares Prime. Mission Control was left in shock. What did she see? Was it madness, or something else? Her final word haunts us still. Did she glimpse something beyond fear? Something transcendent? We have no answers. Only her haunting word remains. The transmission ended the story of 12 souls on Mars. The mystery deepened, and the red planet remained silent. 6 years later, Mission Zero, a robotic probe, returned to Ares Prime. The world watched as it landed near the silent colony, half buried in red sand. The domes were intact but lifeless, a tomb in the Martian desert. The rover entered the open airlock, retracing Rostova's final steps. Inside, red dust covered everything. Emergency lights blinked in the gloom. Tables were set for meals never eaten, clothes folded on beds, experiments left unfinished. No bodies, no signs of violence, no struggle. The crew had simply vanished. The rover searched every room, every corridor, nothing. Only cryptic clues remained. Footprints ending in the dust, the word beautiful whispered into the void. Mission Zero found data, but no answers. The mystery only deepened. The colony was a place of impossible disappearance. The silence was total. The red sands had claimed everything. The world was left with questions. The ghost colony waited, untouched. Mars kept its secrets. What truly happened at Ares Prime? The official story is failure, malfunction, stress, tragedy. But the evidence suggests more. A patterned signal, sentient fog, footprints that end, a final ecstatic smile. These are riddles, not explanations. Perhaps something ancient was awakened by our arrival, a consciousness in the dust, the air, the planet itself. Did it see the colonists as threats, or as something to absorb? We are left with a question, written in Martian dust. When we return, what will we find? Answers, or the same silent presence that claimed the first colony? The universe is full of wonders and terrors beyond understanding. Sometimes when we stare into the abyss stares back. Mars is waiting and its silence is not empty.